Right, Michael, here to update you on the latest on what's going on out there in the weather community so far. Today, we are expecting some areas of severe weather that will be happening in areas of Kansas City. As you can see here, if you like content like this and want to be updated on weather alerts just like this, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get right into it. So, for Kansas City to Kearney, we are going to have a slight risk of severe weather today, and our day two outlook going to be sort of the same area. We're going to be southward just a little bit, Springfield, south of St. Louis. You're going to be dealing Springfield, south of St. Louis, you're going to be dealing with this weather as well. So for tomorrow, we do have a tornado risk that'll be in that slight risk region for the most part in that area. And the wind threat going to be dashed lines with the hail threat being in this area as well. So this whole entire area will be having some of all of the severe weather. The day two outlook going to be a tornado threat in that area that was for the most part as well. Wind threat in that area. Hail threat going to be a broader region with a less percentage than the 15% or it's 10%. I'm trying to remember there, but day three for your marginal risk east of Charlotte, you're going to have a marginal risk for August 20th, and then you're going to have a marginal risk of severe weather. This is going to be for Minneapolis, Sioux Falls, Kearney, Omaha. These are some areas to look out for some severe weather. And remember what I told you guys, the light green is not a risk of severe weather. It's not a level threat, but still it means thunderstorms within those areas. So that's something we got to look out for. We've been talking about the same thing pretty much. Weather Prediction Center, you're going to be having the flood threat that's happening Chicago, Omaha, Des Moines, Davenport, Kansas City, and St. Louis. And then your day two south of St. Louis and northwest of Nashville, you're going to be dealing with the slight risk of some flooding possible on your day two. Day three, marginal risk of severe weather. Not going to be dealing with any slight. This is going to be all the way for areas of the mid-Atlantic to the south and areas of the southwestern United States. You'll be dealing with that marginal risk of flooding as well. So what we've got going on here is just some rain, some heat, and some things like that of that nature. So we have a lot going on. No mesoscale discussions this morning. That'll probably change, to be honest, as we get into afternoon. Remember, I told you about that afternoon convection. Showers and thunderstorms will become persistent throughout most of the southeast. So, what do we've got going on? We still have heat advisories in effect for the southern parts of these states and the low country areas. And these extreme heat warnings extend all the way from areas of north, central, and northern Florida all the way to the outer banks, close to the outer banks, if not the outer banks of North Carolina. So these are all areas we've got to watch out for. Heat advisories extend all the way into areas of Kansas and Oklahoma. And I mean, there's just a lot going on here with these warnings here. We have extreme heat warnings in effect for Oklahoma, Dallas, and Little Rock. Extreme heat warnings in effect for New Orleans and Pensacola. So these coastal areas, you're under extreme heat warnings. Then as I've said before in those videos beforehand, there's just been consistent heat in Dallas, Oklahoma City, Lubbock, and Amarillo. We've been seeing it over and over. The GFS has been showing us potentially 100 degrees here and there. So these are areas that we've got to look out for. These are multiple signs of, just the heat not going anywhere. We've been seeing the models, and we've just been seeing signs from the Climate Prediction Center, in fact, that the heat is just not going to really escape anywhere from areas of the South. And we do have this right here to show our outlook, and it's really over Texas as you get, even throughout the month of August, you see above average temperatures in effect there. So, and precipitation wise, but it's just not there either. We need the precipitation. We need some type of rain around Dallas, Oklahoma, Lubbock, and Amarillo at this rate, because it is going to be, if I'm not surprised, it's probably a drought at this point, a continuous drought along these locations. Precipitation, as you get into areas of New York and areas of Denver, above average precipitation is possible for the 23rd through the 27th. Areas of Atlanta and Denver, and then August, Denver, and then the New England area. So really mainly around Denver and around the New England area, you're going to be above average precipitation, but it just doesn't look like we're getting that much precipitation. Although we are below average, we'll take any amount of rain at this point in these regions because the weather is just, you have the heat index values that are up to, if the temperatures are 110, if the temperatures are 110, your heat index values are gonna at least be up to like 120, if that were my guess, depending on conditions, humidity, and things, all of that of that nature. But it's gonna continue. We're gonna keep going down that path of severe weather, and it's gonna be interesting. So we're gonna look at the HRRR model here, and this is gonna be our outlook for today. Showers and thunderstorms across Chicago area, afternoon convection around Georgia and the Carolinas as always. Into areas of the southern states, we're going to be dealing with the afternoon convection. It probably doesn't show here on here. We still might get that afternoon convection, but not as much. Going to be on the quieter side, as well as the risk of severe weather today. As you get to Thursday into Wednesday, areas of Florida, you got to watch out for these areas in Florida as well, as we're going to be dealing with that severe weather as well. So as we get to the GFS model, we have nothing much going on out there. And as for temperature wise, I'm going to show you this. Temperature wise, it's just going to be very hot across multiple of those southern states. But my name is Mike here to give you an update on the latest. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you out there in the weather community.